Greetings, everyone. I am EstaRa. How are you today on this Wednesday, August 10th, 2016? I wanted to reach out to you and do an update, also give you some information that I received recently, and hopefully do my little reading for the week as well with the cards that I use. But we'll see where it takes us because, again, I never know what I'm going to do, but I get guided and I'm being told to do this. And it's funny, it's kept me away from writing my blog. So I haven't really written anything in my blog for almost 3 weeks now. And that has always been my outlet and my energy way of releasing information about twins. And now I'm being guided to do it through video. And it's funny, I didn't want to, but I'm feeling like I'm supposed to for two reasons. One, it's quicker and faster. I don't have to think about it. And two, the information comes quickly and it needs to get out quickly. And sometimes when I have to write something, I start it, but I never get back to it because I get interrupted. All kinds of things happen. So I set aside a little time now to do this, and I want to talk with all of you. So if you watched my last video, you saw that major Kundalini energy was released for me and my twins specifically, and I am still riding the wave. I don't know if you could tell, but my energy is a little calmer, a little quieter, a little more balanced, probably not as hyper and crazy. Um, Although I have to say it's been hyper and crazy. And since the weekend, oh my gosh, I mean so much has happened. Like I feel like more than a week has transpired. I feel like more than 2 days has happened since the gateway of the Lion's Gate. Um I want all of you, if you have not watched my previous video, please watch it so that you can understand a little more about timelines and how what you're creating right now gets placed into the timeline you wish to be in. And once you're in that timeline, it's already there. So whereas we are in the place of jumping timelines, getting into a new timeline, grabbing onto potential timelines, I guess that's the best way to say it. So when that's happening, as we are manifesting in the written word, when you write, it comes from you. And so it's not like a type thing, it's a writing thing. And when you're doing that and you're speaking it, writing it into the timeline you're currently in, and it gets passed into the timeline you're choosing, it's already done in that timeline. So that's wild. It blows my mind to even think about that. There is no time that it takes to get there. It's there. So in the timeline we're in, we create, we write, we manifest, and the timeline that we're going into, what we just created, wrote, and manifested is already there as if it's done. It's already been done. So how magical and how amazing is that? So please check out that part of the video if you haven't already done so. It would be really good for you. Um, Getting back into what else is going on. So the Kundalini energy has been running through me rapidly since Saturday, and pretty much every time I get like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes here or there, and I'm able to quiet my mind and just sit there for a few minutes with my twin, with his energy, all of a sudden it starts activating. It's like as soon as we connect, it activates. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? This is like overwhelming in a way. I was preparing for a client. Actually, I was preparing for a class on Monday morning. I had to teach a class and I was getting ready to lead them in meditation. And as I was in meditation, my body started reacting like the Kundalini was awakening. I'm like, oh, Kundalini, we can't rise. We can't rise. And then later in the day, did another thing before a client arrived. And again, yesterday and today. So the energy is here. It's active. It's activated and it's ready and it's pulling in my twin and it's pulling and he's pulling me to him. I don't know that he recognizes that or understands that completely, but I definitely feel like something is different. So if you listen to my previous videos, you know that a lot of stuff has happened over the weekend, and I wanted to know two things for my twin. I wanted to know that he actually experienced what I experienced over the weekend, and I also wanted to know if he was okay because our experience, I hated that he had to leave, and he was such a beautiful soul. And as he was walking out of my place, he looked up at me because he had to go down the stairs, and he looked up and he said, "Are you going to be okay?" And I said, "I'm okay." And I started to cry and I said, "I just miss you already." And I was so in my feelings and my emotions that actually I didn't ask him, and I kind of feel bad about that. So what I was asking Spirit is to please give me a sign. And what's funny is sometimes I'll talk with him and not hear from him, or I'll see him and not hear from him for like a week, weeks, months, um, because of what he goes through and his shifting and his patterns or whatever that is. Anyway, he emailed me on Monday evening, which was just a few days later, and said it it was so intense. I felt like that was an answer to what happened over the weekend, not just when he came to see me, but when he came to see me, it awakened something in both of us. I want to say that we are different. I am different. I feel completely different today than I felt yesterday or even Saturday. And I feel completely different since I saw him again. And the second thing, he ended up calling me just for a couple minutes, and he said, I just wanted to say hi. And I heard his voice. I knew he was okay. He sounded good. And it confirmed the two things I asked for Spirit to give me. And what's really amazing and beautiful is I took that as exactly what I asked it to be. I said, I need this to happen. Please give me a sign. If he heard me, if he felt me, if he experienced the Kundalini, he doesn't have to say it because on a human level, I don't think he understands it. And he's probably a little confused as to what is going on with his body. Um, and also could be why I'm feeling more. And I don't think he was doing it. He wasn't calling me to say, "Oh, I felt all this amazing stuff." I mean, I think he was just letting me know he felt something. He experienced a change too. And that was enough for me to understand it. The reason I'm telling you why that was enough for me and why I didn't need his exact words saying, "Oh my God, I felt the Kundalini rise," and "Oh my goodness, you're here," and blah, blah, blah. A lot of us keep asking for more and more. And I am so guilty of it in the past and even sometimes now. Like I talked to him Monday, it's Wednesday. I want to hear from him now and hear from him again. I miss him. Um, a lot of times we actually get our answers to the questions we put out there. The specific questions we ask for, we get them. We get a response, we get an answer, but then it's either not enough or it wasn't the answer we wanted. So then we keep looking outside of ourselves for more and more answers. And I just want to, let you know that when you do that, you diminish your power. This goes back to the goddess Sekhmet. So goddess Sekhmet on Friday had left us a beautiful channel, and I had given it to you in Lionsgate message number 1, part 1. And one of the things that goddess Sekhmet said is when you diminish your soul's truth, you diminish your power. And I didn't really understand that. And just now, speaking to you and actually speaking with a friend earlier, it came really clearly is that when we keep looking outside of ourselves for all the answers all the time, and we stop listening to what's inside of us, and we start doubting what's inside of us, then we diminish our power. So when I say, what he gave me was the answer to what I asked for, it is exactly what I needed. And do I need more from him? No. Right now I don't. I got exactly what I asked for. So I'm going to put out a new thing. I want him to come back, and I want to see him again, and I want to talk to him again, and I want to hear from him again. I think he wants that too. I don't know because I'm not asking. I'm not in his head, but I believe he wants that as well. Um, but I'm putting out a new thing that I want. I'm trusting it's all coming, and I'm going to trust in his path and what he's doing rather than doubt and question. And so, if it means staying away from some people that might make us question, that might be worth doing because staying in our high frequency and our high vibration is so important on this journey. So, please do that as well if you can. Honor who you are. You're a gifted being of light. And I know there's some of you out there that think, oh gosh, no, I'm not. I'm just me. No, you are a gifted being of light. You have the talents and the gifts just as I do. The difference might be is I'm embracing them right now and you just have not yet done that. Or you're beginning to do that. Or this isn't part of your journey. But your journey is to be with your twin. So if you're watching this, you're a twin flame, your journey is to be with a twin. It's not meant to just be suffering and struggling. And, I've been on this journey for many years now, and I found it to be very difficult over the years. And time was moving a lot slower. Energy was lower frequency, lower density. Its time has sped up. So hasn't the energy and the frequency on the planet, so that it's made things go by quicker and faster. So, like I said to you, about a week passed, but it feels like much more than a week passed. 2 days ago feels like a week ago. That's how quickly the energy is moving and how quickly the vibrational frequency is moving. So I encourage you to look within you and always understand where you're at on this journey, who's affecting you, who's not affecting you. What else I wanted to talk to you about was something that I experienced with my twin. So I notice now our Merkaba is gold. I say this because when I originally saw us on our Merkaba, like truly had this amazing experience of us traveling in our Merkaba, merging and making love in a Merkaba and connecting. It looked something like what I'm about to show you. It's a painting that I did. I'm not I'm not like the best artist in the world, but I have my moments, and I usually paint what comes to me. So let me just share that with you. So if you see that there's like a lot of pink light, that's the divine unconditional love light, and around it is blue and white and a light blue. Though that's the Merkaba, was a blue Merkaba, and a lot of our light EstaRa and EtaRa, myself and my twin, we are the carriers of the blue diamond light. So our Merkaba was blue, and we had a lot of blue light emitting off of us, and a lot of people see blue light around me and him. And after this weekend, we have like a gold Merkaba around us. And every time I see us together now, I see gold light. And I feel like I am finally, perhaps on another level, human level, I'm beginning to embody and receive that wisdom of our soul. And I believe both my twin flame and myself were embodying who we are as the divine, beautiful beings of light, the royalty of who we are. I am an Arcturian elder, master of the light, as well as my twin. And being such, we are royalty in Arcturus in some ways. But the concept of royalty is very different than what you think of here with the kings, queens, and jewels and all that stuff. It's like mastering who you are, basically. And so I feel like we're beginning to embody that wisdom that is ours. Not that we haven't used it, and not that I haven't been using my wisdom as an Arcturian elder, but the truth is, I'm beginning to embody those aspects of me and my twin that are us. So I am excited to say that what I channeled last week and the messages I've gotten about with regard to what that new moon that we just went through was about embodying who we truly are and not being um hindered as much as we were once. And I hope that makes sense for a lot of you, and I hope you're experiencing that and understanding some of what I'm saying. So that is another thing I wanted to share. I have a bunch of things to share with you, and I feel like, oh my gosh, I could talk to you for days, and I really need to figure out a better way to do this and maybe be more grounded. I don't know if I'll be more grounded because honestly, in this energy I'm in, I feel this is the most grounded I felt, but yet I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. But goodness, amazing things have happened to me. Um, so one of the things that happened last evening is I was speaking with a friend, and another friend came through. Magdalene, Mary Magdalene came through, and she works with me quite often. Magdalene and Yeshua both work with me and my beloved, and they've been working with me for several years now. And they'll come in from time to time, bringing me messages and such. And so I was talking with my friend, saying, "Oh my God, my body is reacting still. It's like coming up through me. What do I do? What do I do?" And she laughed at me, and she's like, "Well, obviously there's a reason, you know." And she said, "Oh, wait a minute, I think we have someone here." And I said, "Oh yes, it's Magdalene. I feel her." And she goes, "Yes, she's going to give you a message because you're so high frequency vibrational bouncing around right now with all the love energy. So we're going to just tell you what's going on." So Magdalene came through and said, um, "Welcome to your new life, EstaRa. Feel that vibrational frequency within you and recognize that you are magnetically pulling your twin to you, and he is magnetically pulling himself into you, and he is pulling you to him. And with all this energy, experience you will not stop experiencing the kundalini rising and the energy activation in your root and sacral chakras until you do merge fully. And even after that, you will continue to have this amazing vibrational frequency coming through your body, and you will continue to have your kundalini rise. That is the twin flame love, that is the energy. And I thought, wow, how amazing and profound for two reasons. The first being, holy crap, if I'm going to feel this the rest of my life, oh, I cannot wait to spend my life with this man. And I can't wait to share every single thing with him because he's going to love it as much as I'm going to love it. And the second thing is, I created an invocation back in, I believe, May. And I have that for sale if anybody's interested in receiving an invocation to call in your twin flame. I created it because my friend and I were sitting down saying, we've never done something like that before. So I said, well, why don't you go cook dinner? I'll go make some incense because I love doing that. So I created an incense for the twin flames. And I sat down for like, I don't know, 2 minutes. All of a sudden came flooding out of me this beautiful invocation, which I didn't even think about um, doing. And it was so powerful. We did it that night, and I've done it since. And one of the reasons I'm sharing it with you is when Magdalene said it's a magnetic connection that we're pulling to each other. This is what one of the lines inside of my invocation. I send out this magnetic call to pull in my beloved twin flame to me once and for all. I truly feel like I just manifested that magnetic energy to reconnect. Because one of the things that over the years, and I've known him now for 11 years, when I first met him, I felt this draw, this attraction, this pull, this magnetic pull. And he did too, because he would say to me, I feel like I'm pulled to be with you. It's like a magnet pulling me to you. It's bigger than both of us. He was well aware of that. And then things happened, all the separation, the negativity, the sadness, the pain, the attack from the dark, the attack from other people in our lives. A lot of interference, obstructions were placed in our way, and a lot of frequencies shifting up and down. And I didn't feel that any longer, and it made me sad to not feel that any longer. So one of the things that I recognized was we need to feel that again. And when I channeled this beautiful invocation, those words came out as a part of it, and I feel like coming together reactivated that magnetic pull, but it was already being activated by my words and by sending it out through invocation. So if that's something you're interested in receiving or learning about, please contact me through email, and I'll be happy to send you a link to pay for it through PayPal, and I will send you out the Twin Flame Invocation. I actually call it Invoking Your Twin Flame Union. Um, all right, going into a couple other things I want to do. So the other thing out of the two things I just said, there's actually three. I said two. The third piece is that Magdalene said this is the beginning for my soul group, and it's the beginning of my union, beginning of my reunion with my twin flame. And so it feels like it's going to go quickly, but I don't know how long, and I'm not going to put a timeline on it, because if I do that, then I get in my head and I think, and then I get scared and I run away in fear and I get emotional and I put a block and obstruction up between us. I don't want to do that anymore. No more. Done, done, done. And so she said, it is happening. It is done. It is now. He is integrating, 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 and planning, planning, planning the next steps for himself. That gave me so much hope, so much love, and so much faith in what's going on. So I want to tell all of you, if that's happening to other people right now, I'm so ecstatic, because I really believe this is the time of twin flame unions. And I don't know if that means like we're all coming together in this moment in time, but it's happening where we're connecting in this moment in time, and it's going to build upon and build upon and build upon and build upon. The more twins that connect, the more you actually physically connect, the more that you interact, the more you are creating that reality, the more you're manifesting it for you and anybody in your soul group. So if you are in my soul group, and there's many of you that are, please know that what I did on Saturday with the Kundalini, raising it through his body and through my own, when I did that, what that was doing was sending out a rippling effect out to all twin flames and awakening the masculine to feel that energy, vibration, and frequency, feeling what it means to be free sexually, but also what it means to be free in their being and aligned in their chakras. So everyone is having like a ripple effect outward, and how magnificent is that really? Okay, I wanted to just do a quick card reading for the week, because I didn't do that yet, and I did kind of promise Spirit that I would do that weekly. So let me see. I'm going to pull some cards, and I actually will pull three: one for the masculine, one for the feminine, one for the union overall, and what that might look like. So let's pull the card for the masculine. I love this card. So these are the Inner Child Fairy Tale Tarot deck, and I don't read them like a tarot, because again, I'm not a tarot reader. However, I am an intuitive, and messages come to me by looking at this. So I absolutely love this card for the Divine Masculine. It is called Wish Upon a Star. Do you see that? He's got a coin in his hand. There's a star in the background up here. See the star? And over here, the little man has a coin he's dropping down into the wishing well. All right, this is for the divine masculine. Do you know what that means? Oh my God, that they are clicking into the create your reality as you go. They're beginning to understand their power, and they're doing what my guides had said and what my intuition had said last week. They are beginning to embody who they are. Now, the divine masculine has been hindered and blocked a little bit from creating and manifesting in their lives because honestly, they've been stuck in the darker energy. They've been in lower density. They've been in more difficulty, and they've kind of been in lower vibration longer. And because of that and their structure and all the other issues that they've have been dealing with, and the divine feminine energy pouring down on the planet, shaking up the masculine, it's making them unsure who they are, over the last several months, if not years. And right now they are beginning to embody who they are as of last week with the new moon. And if you're embodying who you are, you begin to remember that you are a manifester, and you begin to remember you have the power of creation just as your beloved twin does as well. And when I say divine masculine, again, it's not necessarily a male energy. It is the out of the twin flame couple, the person who's carrying the divine masculine energy. It could be female as well. In my case, he is a masculine, so he is a male as the masculine energy, and he as the masculine is actually learning to use their magic. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is that? Especially we're in the Lion's Gateway. So during this time, my feeling is they're actually using it. So that is quickly representative of the masculine this week. Now, does that mean everything's going to happen the way we want to right away? Probably not. But what does that mean? It means they're going to do trial and error, start to step out of their comfort zone and start to think that they can have more than they thought they could have before. A lot of masculine energies have been really limited by their beliefs, as I have all of we. I have all of us. Oh boy, I can't speak today. Um, as have all of us. But the masculine, particularly, they have very specific limiting beliefs, particularly with commitment and duty and responsibility and how that plays out in their life and their reality. But having those limiting beliefs makes it very difficult for them to see potentials or even believe they can have those potentials. To me, wish upon a star. To me, this card, oops, this card means that they're beginning to recognize they have power. Let's look at the divine feminine right now. Oh, and the other thing I want to say about the divine masculine. So, wishing upon a star, it's like he's actively doing something. So, it's his job to take action. He's taking action. He's doing something. So, I want to wish all of you the truth inside of you to know and trust inside of you that he is your divine masculine, is doing exactly what he needs to do, whether it looks like it or not. So, trust in your divine masculine. They're doing what they need. Okay, so let's look at the divine feminine card. Okay, the Divine Feminine card is Snow White. I love these cards. I know I say that every time I do a reading. It's kind of funny, and you're probably all like, "Oh, yep, you like these cards." Um, okay, so the Snow White card. If you see, I see the Divine Feminine. She's here in bed. I see a little dwarf over here with a light, and I see one at the door. He's got like a hammer axe in his hand, and over here I see a witch with apples and dark energies coming. I also see lots of stars in this card, and if you look at the bed frame, there's stars. So when I look at this card of Snow White, and I think of the divine feminine energy, what this speaks to me is with the divine feminine, she's resting. And it's funny. I look at that and I think, God, I haven't slept in days. I've had maybe 2 hours wake up, 2 hours wake up, and so maybe a total of 4 hours a night, perhaps less, just because I'm up a lot since this Kundalini energy, and I'm not worried about it. I think that's supposed to happen. But when I look at this card, I feel like for the divine feminine, it's almost like it's time for us to rest. So we've been working so hard to fix, heal, transform, and do all these things to make the masculine come to us, make the masculine do things. Um, for example, last week, I was like, I hadn't heard from my twin for a few days, and I thought, should I call him? Should I not call him? And I literally got absolutely nothing. I don't mean my spirit guide said don't do anything. I literally heard nothing. I felt nothing, did nothing. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. I guess I'm not going to do anything. Okay, I'm not going to do anything. And I was like, do I feel anything? Nope, I don't feel anything. I checked in throughout the whole day, and I just finally let go and said, you know what? If I feel it, I'll do something. If I don't, I'm not going to call him. I didn't do anything. And guess what? He called and said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. How incredible is that? First time I let go. So I actually feel like this card is about letting go. I feel like she here in bed is sleeping. She's resting, and the dwarf over here is saying, "I got you protected. I have light around you always. You're safe." And if you look up above here at the door, you see another dwarf, and I feel like that's the protection, checking in and making sure we're okay. And if you look here, yes, there's always dark energies around, always darker entities or the powers that be that do not want twin flames to unite, or are specifically coming after the couple. I know for myself and my twin, we've had curses from other galaxies and other planets, so it's not just from this dimension, if you will, or this earth world. um, so when I look at this card, to me, she is given the opportunity to let go and rest. And I feel like let go is the words I want to give, more so than rest and don't do anything. Um, let go of control. Let go of thinking you have to fix everything. Let go of thinking you have to do it. Let go of thinking that if you don't do it, he's not going to come. Uh, Gosh, it makes me think of how many times I felt like I had to do something to make him come, to make him talk to me, to make him speak to me, to make him come see me, all that stuff. It's not our job. They are our equal. They're quite capable of doing exactly what we do. They just don't remember. And guess what? If we're always doing it, they're not going to remember. Okay. I also wanted to say this card also tells me that we're very protected. Yes, there's energies up here that are looking at us saying, how can I get in there and how can I interfere? That's about our emotions. Okay. So if you go into an emotion, that spiral of hell that I've talked about in other videos where you get hurt or you feel sad about something and then it just keeps going downward, 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 and then it keeps attracting and drawing in more energy that will amplify that feeling, and then you'll go downward. So I really want to caution you not to jump on the spiral of hell. I want to caution you not to let that happen as much as you could. So be conscious, be present, be really grounded, and be really anchored. Grounding is so important on this journey because if we're not grounded, we let energies come through and come in and interfere with us. And with her, with this beautiful divine feminine, she just needs to rest right now a little and just let go of all the control and the power and just know that it's all done. Wow, I'm bringing the words in again. It's all done. It's been done. There's nothing else to do. It's been done. We're being protected. We have the light surrounding us always. And up here, we're being protected at the door. Nothing's coming in. Nothing's going to harm us. It's almost like we've crossed into a new time. So I love this card. I want to offer that all to you, beautiful divine feminines that are watching this and understanding from your heart that the time is coming and we are surrounded by light and we're protected. Yes, there's still some elements up here, up in this area. You can see some elements, but to me, it's not as significant because they don't have the power. Once you stop giving them the power, once you stop running away from your heart and you stay in your truth, they don't have the power anymore. So that's what I feel for the divine feminine. Let's do the overall like union couple card. Okay, so again, I don't read cards like the tarot, so you might read something else if you're like, ooh, Three of Hearts. So this card is the Three of Hearts, and I just want to look at it for a moment and see what I feel. I love it. To me, this is overall about the masculine and feminine coming together in union, and I say union, and it's crazy for me to say that because usually I'll just say, oh, what's the overall view of the relationship of the couple? I'm going to try to hold it steady. I'm not very good about this. Sorry. I am hoping to get a new computer at some point. And if I do, you'll notice I will get a new computer and a better web camera and a better way of doing this. Hopefully, I'll learn. This card, Three of Hearts. If you see up here, there are two mermaids, a mer woman and a merman. And when you look closely, I'm going to bring it up here much more closely so you can see. The the mer woman and the mer man are holding hands in unity, and they're dancing around with two fish around them, and they're swirling and dancing and enjoying each other. To me, that means unions are happening. So to me, this week, unions are in the process of happening. As Magdalene said to me, it was the beginning of my reunion. So reunions and unions are actually occurring. That's what this tells me. This one down here is the next level of twin flame that's starting to say, hey, it's happening for others. Is it my turn? It's like the next wave, if you will, next wave of twins are being awakened, and their hearts are starting to open a little bit more, and they're starting to realize it's possible, and it's definitely going to happen. And then I look over here, and I want to say, she's looking at a shell and there's music coming out of it. So I feel like she's feeling the music of her soul. And so I say her because it's a female mermaid, but the truth is, it's of all the twins that have been asleep. It's like awakening their soul to music. So please listen to the sound of your soul. You will hear it vibrating through you, and it's calling you into union. It's calling you to remember who you are. So many people will see this in their lives if you have not yet, which I'm sure you have because you wouldn't be on this channel listening. But those of you who are new to this journey, those of you who don't know what's happening to your twin, I guarantee the thought in their mind at some point is, I know there's something more for me here. I know I'm supposed to be doing something else. I know there's something more for me. And, just that knowing will carry them beyond everywhere. So trust in that, trust in their love, and know that inside of you, it's always there. You're always connected to them. So for this week, I want you to just trust in love, trust in love, and trust love. Okay, I'm going to have to go because I think I'm exceeding my time. So namaste, and I send love to all of you and blessed, blessed energy for your union.